So even though Charlie Kirk is gone, Turning Point has not had a break at all from any of the crazy Antifa protests going on around the country. Now, this is something the media really isn't covering at all, which why would you expect them to do at this point? The left is acting like Antifa doesn't even exist, which is funny because the people that are out here like identify themselves as Antifa, so something's not adding up there. And so around the Turning Point's been still doing events around the country, doing speaking tours. They'll have people fill in for Charlie Kirk. So this one was at UC Berkeley, which is in Southern California. And Antifa made sure they were there. And it got pretty crazy, to say the least. So I just want to show you a few clips of these insane Antifa lefty protests, just to show you how just insane they are. Just to put it simply, I don't even know how else to word it at this point. If this is content you like, make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below, and we'll jump right into this clip, which we're starting off strong here. So they started off this protest right here. This is earlier on in the day, saying, F your dead homie, referring to Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk is dead. So that shows how tolerant they are. They're chanting F your dead homie. And they're saying what? No racist, no KKK, no fascist USA or something like that. So what gets me about this whole thing where they're trying to say their whole argument is they're anti-fascist, Antifa is what's supposed to stand for. They're literally trying to silence conversation and silence people from talking, which is a fascist ideology. Fascist, the whole point of fascism is to silence your opposition. You only want your idea out there. You don't want anybody else speaking. Free speech doesn't exist. So what Antifa does is at these events, and among others throughout the whole country, they try to silence the people they don't like, try to silence their ideas instead of just discussing with them. Because at a lot of these events, what you can do, I'm pretty sure they let pretty much anyone in. You can walk up to a mic and talk to who's ever talking, whether it's like Tucker now or Michael Knowles or Megyn Kelly, whoever's at these events now. You can go up and ask them a question, and then you could debate that topic. These people don't want to do that, though. They don't want to have civil discussion, which is why Charlie Kirk is dead. The one person that actually had civil discussion with people. And they just want to silence anyone that thinks differently than them, which is fascist. But in their minds, they think they're saving the world, which is why more events that happen, like more things that will happen to Charlie Kirk will probably happen in the future because they're able to justify it in their own minds. And then no one really condemns them because the liberal media didn't even really say much about it. You know, they still don't even cover this stuff going around. And then everyone on the left acts like this stuff doesn't even happen when it's right here. So this is pretty crazy too. This looks like it's a Charlie Kirk fan. Obviously, he has a Freedom shirt. I think he's selling these shirts out front the venue. It looks like he has a table of shirts here. Just look at how they treat him. They're literally all surrounding him, yelling in his ear. This dude's blowing smoke.
Fuck you, fascists! Fuck you, fascists! Fuck you, fascists! Fuck you!
This dude's literally just minding his own business, trying to sell some shirts. All he's doing.
Chinga la migra! 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 Fuck you, fascists! Fuck you, fascists! Fuck you, fascists! Fuck you, fascists! Chinga la migra!
I'm going to speed it up real quick. It does get pretty bad in a second, but it's taking a minute to get there.
Talk about the kidnapping.
Just take away.
Why are they kidnapping us?
Christ is Lord.
Fuck us! Fuck us! Fuck us! Fuck us! Fuck us! Fuck us!
And what you say about this?
We're gonna start our first speech of the night.
Stop the kidnapping.
I'm gonna
Stop the deportation.
Jesus Christ.
Christ is the Messiah. He will be returned.
We're clear.
The first speech of the night. I would like to welcome Antonio from Students Organizing for Liberation. Hello. I first want to thank all of you all for coming out here. And I do want to pay attention to our comrade right here. They have a point. It is our job as students to be educators within the student movement. It is not enough to say fuck fascism.
Look at this. This old guy right here to the left comes up.
When we don't tell why we
And
need
look,
it.
this guy right here just throws a bunch of his shirts on the ground. This dude's just minding his own business. And then he's trying to block him
this is
here.
it.
Guys, that's exactly what
And then at some point, because that dude blocked him, the camera here, you can't see it, but he got attacked.
Okay, this is it.
So you see him over
Guys,
here.
that's exactly what they want. That's exactly.
Look, someone's literally attacking him. And you can see his face is all bloodied up. And now the police come in. It's absolutely insane. These are how crazy these people are. Attacking this guy. He's literally just out there selling shirts. All he's doing. And they're surrounded him. They started yelling at him, blowing smoke at him. And you notice they all always have like masks on. You notice how they all always look the same. It's very strange. And like, I just don't even know what to say about these people. Like, if you're willing to just assault someone like this for having a different point of view, it's a stranger on the street. Like, there's something mentally wrong with you. There truly is. There is nothing wrong with what he was doing. And I would say that was the other way around too. If there's some dude selling like I don't even know the like Kamala Harris or Hassan Piker, as horrible as he is, he doesn't deserve to be assaulted on the street. You know, that's absolutely insane. And then it just goes on throughout the night too. I think they're chanting fascists out of Berkeley. They're literally trying to silence speech and calling other people fascists. And just look at like the amount of emotion, like emotional response they get from people just showing up at an event and just speaking. All they're doing, nothing crazy. And this is how emotional it gets. See, this is what the Democrats know they have when it comes to their base. They know they can say anything in a heartbeat and it triggers like an emotional response, right? So the past few months, like the other day, Supreme Court just decided to rule against looking into gay marriage again. And they're like, oh, we're not gonna look at that right now. For months, all we've been hearing from liberal pundits and liberal commentators and some Democrats is that the Supreme Court's going to overturn gay marriage. Don't vote for conservatives, vote for us because they're going to do this. And it's like they fear-mongered for months and then the Supreme Court didn't even do anything about it. But it triggered such an emotional response out of people like this. Like that's what the Democrats do. They trigger an emotional response out of the people that vote for them instead of actually speaking in logic. Like, Republicans are doing this. And then instead of them being like, okay, what's your solution then? They just go, oh my God, evil Republicans, we have to vote Democrat. But then the Democrats don't have a solution for anything. They'll be like, oh, Trump is doing this is horrible. But nobody on their side goes, okay, what's your solution to counter it? They don't have one. They just want to do anything opposite of Trump. And here's just more of it getting absolutely crazy. Police are getting more involved now. They're like trying to push the barrier. Oh, After round found out, huh? They're not playing around. They all either have masks on or they have some weird color hair. Fascists out of Berkeley. Fascists out of Berkeley. Absolutely insane. That dude deserves to be arrested. That's crazy. Like, this is such a crazy response. One more video here, and then I'm going to talk about the university's response, which came way later. But this is later on the night. Because it wouldn't be an Antifa protest without some kind of fire being started, right? Look at this. Absolutely insane. And I saw some videos too. I couldn't find them again when I was trying to prepare for this. I should have liked them on Twitter or something. It was hard to search for. But there was also stores being looted too, because why not, right? There were stores being looted while all this was going on. All in the name of stopping fascism, we're going to loot all these stores. It makes sense, right? So this, there's two. So the university responded, but the only reason the university responded is because the FBI responded, so they didn't want to look bad. So this is originally, Andy No posted UC Berkeley's original response. So it states, UC Berkeley condemns all violence and will hold accountable anyone who violates the law or campus regulations. The university is firmly committed to an open and robust marketplace of ideas, to maintaining a campus where people of all beliefs and perspectives can feel safe and respected. There is no place at UC Berkeley for attempts to use violence or intimidation to prevent lawful expression or chill free speech. The university is conducting a full investigation and intends to fully cooperate with and assist any federal investigations in the FBI-led Joint Terrorism Task Force to identify the outside agitators responsible for attempting to disrupt last night's tpusa event. UC Berkeley will take all appropriate steps to safeguard the right of every member of our community to speak and assemble freely. Thanks to the dedication and cooperation of numerous university, state, and local police officers, the efforts to prevent last night's event did not succeed. Instead, the tpusa event proceeded safely without interruption, with more than 900 participants in attendance. Several arrests were made in connection with the event by both city and university police. UC Berkeley appreciates and commends the officers and staff who help preserve both public safety and freedom of speech on our campus. The campus remains steadfast in its commitment to uphold open dialogue, respecting the rule of law. So it sounds great, right? They worded it good and they're trying to impress everyone. But notice this part here where it said, we intend to cooperate and assist with any federal investigations. The federal investigation already started. I fully believe the only reason they came out with this statement is because they know the FBI is already investigating it. I think if the FBI just ignored it, they would have never made a statement on it at all, because they would have been like, oh, this is good. No one's talking about this, right? Or they would have acted like it was no big deal. So this is like the FBI, Pam Bondi's response, basically saying they're going to look into it and they're going to investigate and everything like that, right? So this whole thing is just absolutely crazy. And this is something, like I said a bunch of times in this video and just in general on my social media, is that people don't think this stuff happens because the media doesn't talk about it, right? The media controls the information. The media controls what you see and what you can't see, which is why it's so great that Elon Musk bought X, regardless of what you think about Elon, right? I think Elon's definitely a net good. But him buying X was one of the best things to happen, because we can actually see information that the media wouldn't be telling us. Think of all the things we've learned from X just in the past few years that the mainstream media didn't even talk about. It's great. Now, I think his community notes could be a little better. They're a little slow at times. There can be some fake news on there once in a while people fall for. But overall, they talk about more actual news than your CNN, than your MSNBC, than Fox News, than ABC, right? They cover more stuff. And I guarantee you, no mainstream outlet covered this. Maybe Fox News has a small chance, but they probably didn't cover this. This is absolutely insane. And this happens at Turning Point events all the time throughout the country. This is not just a one-off. There's always protesters at every single event they go to, or they start, or anything. And like, they just want to talk. That's the thing. They usually have a Q&A where you can go up and talk. And that's just proof. The whole thing that happened to Charlie Kirk and what Turning Point USA does is proof that these people don't want to talk. The way you're supposed to handle politics, you're supposed to have a civil debate about both sides, and then you try to meet in the middle, right? That's how it's always been until recently. Now, you have people like these crazy people that if you automatically have one viewpoint that's slightly different than yours, they want you silenced. They don't want you to have your freedom of speech. In some cases, they want you dead. And it's absolutely disgusting. It really is. Freedom of speech exists for a reason. We're not Germany. We're not the UK. We're America. We have freedom of speech. You're not going to get arrested for your social media posts. That exists in this country. And these crazy leftists who want to act violent like that there's something needs to happen. I'm not saying, you know, if they're peaceful there, they can be there peaceful, right? I'm not saying that. But like that one dude who assaulted that guy that was selling shirts, right? Or these people that are pushing up on cops, these people that are causing a disturbance in the community that's like clearly late at night, right? And the people looting stores that constantly get away with it, especially in California. Something needs to happen, right? Or else this stuff's going to keep happening over and over and over again. And people's lives are going to remain unsafe just for having a different point of view. And that's terrifying, you know? But that's all I would say about this. Let me know you guys think in the comments section. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, and I'll catch you next time.